I built over $25,000 in business credit limits without an EIN, without an LLC, without paying a dime in filing fees. Use my social security number, my personal name, and a tax designation that costs nothing to create. And here's the part that matters. Most of these credit cards don't show up on my personal credit report. They report to the Business Bureau only. Separate credit file, separate limits, same person. Every other video about business credit tells you to form an LLC first. And I'm about to show you why that's backwards and give you the 5-step application system that I use to build sole prop business credit. If you're new here, I'm Flo. I teach credit and business funding. If you're getting value from this video, hit a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Stick around. I have a full starter kit with the full application system. Let me clear this up in under 2 minutes because there's so much confusion about this. A sole proprietorship is a tax designation. That's it. It's not a business entity. It's not an LLC. It's not paperwork you file at the state level. If you do any kind of work for money, freelancing, Uber, selling items online, consulting, you are technically already a sole proprietor. When you apply for business credit under sole proprietor status, something interesting happens. Banks treat it differently than personal credit, even though legally it's all you. Here's a key insight. When you apply for a sole prop business card using your name and SSN, the bank might pull your personal credit to make the approval decision, but the account often doesn't report back to your personal credit bureaus. It reports to business credit bureaus instead. So if you got credit that a bank approved based on your personal credit worthiness, but it lives on your business credit file, your personal score stays untouched. It's not deception. It's the system working as designed. The way I look at it, sole prop credit is a bridge. It's the fastest way to build business credit while you're getting your LLC together, or while you're testing a business idea and don't want to spend money on formation paperwork yet. Let me lay this out clearly because every other video conflates these three. With a sole proprietorship, your SSN is your business identifier. No separate entity exists. You file taxes on Schedule C. Business credit applications are under your personal name. Most cards report to business bureaus, not personal. Zero filing costs. Fastest approval path. The downside? No liability protection. With an EIN-based entity, you have an LLC or corporation. Separate business name, separate tax return. Business credit applications use your EIN. Cards typically report to both business and personal bureaus. More involved approval process. More expensive to form and maintain. Better long-term protection. Here's what matters for your decision right now. If you need business credit this month, sole prop is your move. If you're building for 3 years from now, form the LLC first. But most people, they need credit now and they'll want the LLC later. That's the bridge strategy. Build sole prop credit for 6 to 9 months. Build your business credit file. Then form your LLC and transition. The credit history you built under sole prop helps you get approved for EIN-based products at the same banks because they already have behavioral data on you. Let me walk you through the exact system. This is what separates getting approved from getting rejected. Step 1. Your business name is your personal name. John Smith applying for a business card uses John Smith as the business name. If the application asks for a DBA, leave it blank or enter your name. Don't make up a business name you haven't registered. Step 2. Select sole proprietor as your entity type, not LLC, not S Corp, not partnership. Sole proprietor. That's a designation that tells the bank you're using your SSN. Step 3. Provide your SSN, not an EIN. When the application asks for a business tax ID, your SSN is your tax ID. You don't need an EIN for this strategy. Step 4, and this is where most people freeze up. Report your business revenue. You have 3 legitimate options. If you have actual business revenue from a side hustle, use that number. If you're starting and have projected revenue, use a reasonable projection. If the application accepts stated income, you can state income that's defensible, meaning you can explain it if asked. Banks don't typically verify small business revenue the way they do personal income. There's no W-2 for a sole proprietorship. But here's my rule. State income you can defend. If someone asked you, how did you make that? You need an answer. 50 to 100,000 is defensible if you genuinely plan to freelance or run a service business. Don't state 300K for a business that doesn't exist. Step 5. Expect a personal credit pull. Most banks will check your personal credit to approve you for sole prop business credit. They're looking for, can this person manage credit? Any recent delinquencies? If you've got a 720 or above, approval is highly likely. Below 650, it's harder, but not impossible. Not every bank is friendly to sole proprietors. Here are the ones that work. American Express, straightforward about sole props. They approve based on personal credit worthiness and stated revenue. Their business cards often don't report to personal bureaus. Chase in cards work well for sole props. Their reporting goes to business bureaus. Approval usually hinges on personal credit plus reasonable revenue claims. Bank of America, smooth approval process for sole props. Their business products have historically worked well with SSN-based applications. Barclays offers business cards that accommodate sole proprietorships. Approval based on personal credit plus a reasonable business claim. Now, what to avoid? Most credit unions won't approve sole prop business credit without an actual EIN and registered entity. Navy Federal, Pentagon, Federal, or PenFed, save those for when you have your LLC. Also, specific cards like Ramp now require an EIN. Register business and 25,000 or more in a U.S. bank account. Not a sole prop play. Stick to the mainstream banks for sole prop: AmEx, Chase, BofA, Barclays. That's your playground. Here's the part that makes this strategy so powerful. Most sole prop business cards report to business credit bureaus: Equifax Business, Experian Business, Dun & Bradstreet. They do not report to your personal bureaus: Equifax, Experian, TransUnion Personal. What does that mean for you? You're building a business credit profile that's invisible to your personal credit score. You can carry business debt that doesn't hurt your personal utilization ratio. But, and this is critical, there's one exception. If you default on a sole prop card, go 90 plus days delinquent, the bank can and will report that to your personal bureaus. The separation only holds while you're current. Also, some cards do cross-report. American Express and Chase have some hybrid reporting. Check the specific card's reporting behavior before you assume it's invisible. And remember, even if it doesn't report publicly, the bank sees it on your internal file. When you apply for another product at that same bank, they know about every card you hold with them. Real talk. Sole prop credit, it is not a loophole. It is not a hack. It is a tax designation that banks specifically built for their applications to accept. The only mistake is treating it as a permanent home instead of what it is, a bridge to something bigger. Let me show you what this looks like over 12 months. Month 0, you start with a 750 personal score, 2 personal cards totaling 15,000 in limits, and an empty business credit file. Month 6, after 3 sole prop applications spaced 60 to 90 days apart, your personal score dips slightly from inquiries, maybe to 745, recovers quickly. Your business credit file now shows 3 accounts, 8,000 from Chase, 5,000 from AmEx, 12,000 Bank of America. Your personal available credit hasn't changed, but your total access to credit across both profiles just went from 35,000 to 60,000. Month 12, personal score fully recovered to 755. Business credit file shows 12 months of history across 3 to 4 accounts. You now have the behavioral data and credit file to support an EIN-based application when you're ready to form that LLC. That's the bridge strategy in action. Before we wrap up, let me save you from the biggest mistakes I see with sole prop credit. Mistake 1, using sole prop credit permanently instead of transitioning. You build it, it works great, and suddenly you're running a real business under sole prop status with no liability protection and a messy credit trail. Set a timeline, 6 to 9 months, then form your LLC and graduate to EIN-based credit. Mistake 2, stating unrealistic revenue. You put $150,000 on the application when you're making $25,000. The bank doesn't verify upfront, but if you ever need financing later and the lender digs deeper, you've got a problem. State income that's defensible. $50,000 to $100,000 is reasonable for planned freelance or service work. Mistake 3, applying for too many cards at once. 5 applications in 1 month means 5 hard inquiries hitting your personal credits simultaneously. Some banks will see that as risky. Space your applications 60 to 90 days apart. Patience is faster than rushing. Here's the bottom line. You do not need an LLC to start building business credit. Sole proprietor status is free, immediate, and most major banks accept it. I put together a free sole prop business credit starter kit. It's got the full 5-step application system, a revenue reporting template, and a bank approval likelihood chart. Links in the description. Grab it while it's there. Quick reminder, this content is for educational purposes only. Always follow up with your own research before making any financial decisions. Keep that momentum going. I'll see you in the next one.